Hey, real quick before we dive into the Hardcore Closer podcast, if you haven't already, jump over to hardcorecloser.com, sign up, and join over 20,000 sales professionals from around the world and receive free hardcore sales training every week after week that will help you step your game up. Now, buckle up, closers. Here's Ryan. Let's do it.
What's up, Closer Nation? Welcome to the Hardcore Closer podcast. I am your host and founder, CEO and salesman over at hardcorecloser.com. Listen, this podcast is dedicated to helping the sales community become better, right? Like helping you become better in every way possible, right? More sales, more prospects, higher conversions, higher growth, helping more people. Because here's the thing, if you believe in what you sell and you know that what you sell is awesome, don't you owe it to the marketplace to try to sell as much of it as possible? And before we get too far, it's that time of year. I got a little bit of allergy thing going on, so bear with me for the voice. I'm going to pull through it anyway because there's no time to take breaks in Closer Land. All right, so listen. This podcast is going to benefit you if you're selling cars. It's going to benefit you if you're selling homes, financial services, consulting. If you're a podcaster, if you're a coach, if you're what, it doesn't matter what you do. Look, we're going to help you generate more leads. We're going to help you increase your closing ratios and everything else. We're going to show you how to charge premium fees so you could get paid what you're worth. If this is your first time here, I'm super excited to have you on board. You're going to love this. Just stick around. If you've been here more than once, thank you for inviting people to the show. Thank you for helping us spread the word. Many of you are hitting me up on Twitter. Many of you are leaving us reviews on iTunes. That's huge to me. Just like VT Guy 2012 left this 5-star review. Thank you, VT Guy 2012. This is no one-star show. I like how he rhymes too. That's like extra points for being cool there, VT Guy. The Hardcore Closer wouldn't be doing it. This is a 5-star show. Absolutely awesome, full of energy and excitement. A must listen if you're in sales of any kind. Shout out to the VT Guy 2012. Appreciate them 5 stars, baby. Way to keep it real. That's why we're doing things around here for reviews, right? Check it out. It's number 18, episode 18. Boy, we've been putting tracks down here like Dr. Dre was when he was with Death Row Records, right? We've been all over this stuff. But look, I'm glad you're here, right? Because we've got some really good stuff that we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about your perfect customer, which is one of the most important exercises that I have done in my selling career. It changed the game. It took me from 100-aire to millionaire. It really did. And it's all about this identifying your perfect customer exercise that we're going to go through. Before we hop into this, though, listen, this show is sponsored by Clixo, CLYXO.com. It is some awesome software. And go over there, check out Clixo. Mine's clixo.com/closer. You can see how it's all set up. You can see the finished product. Go over there and sign up for it. I also happen to own the company, so bonus points for that. You're going to love it. But it just makes it easy. I mean, as salespeople, we're looking for, exposure, right? We want as many people to know that we sell what we sell as possible. And so it's important that people be able to find us. Some people are on Instagram. Some people are on Snapchat. Some people are on the Twitter. Some people like LinkedIn. And you just want to be able to drive them to one place to where they can pick out where it is that they want to connect with you. And then obviously you can sell them stuff from there. So make sure you go to Clixo, CLYXO.com. Check it out right there. You're going to love it. And make sure you go to Clixo.com Closer and follow me wherever you want to follow me at. So let's get into the content, right? Let's talk about how to identify your perfect customer. Now, here's the deal. If you don't know who you're selling to, you won't ever sell the amount that you should sell, right? You'll underperform. You have to, one of the first things that happens when you hire a marketing firm or if you hire a boiler room to sell for you, if you outsource things, they start asking you, who's your perfect avatar? That's what a lot of people say. Well, who's your avatar? And I don't call them an avatar. I call them the perfect customer. And once you get clear on what it is you want, meaning what it is that once you get clear on who it is that you want to work with, you get also clear on who it is that you don't want to work with. And when the thing about the mind is when it gets clear in one thing or the other, it starts to attract what it wants, and it starts to repel what it doesn't want. And so you can watch in real life that your mind and you knowing who you want to work with and being clear on that, your mind will start looking and focusing for that person, while at the same time, it'll also start looking and focusing on who it doesn't want to work with. So I went through this exercise, and there's actually a video up on YouTube. We'll put it in the show notes here. It's called Core Influence by Frank Kern. And I went through that exercise in probably 2010. And that was the first time that I had ever heard of the perfect customer. And Frank actually has a video. We'll see if we can find this too. It's called Perfect Stranger, right? And benevolent stranger. I don't know, something stranger. We'll see if we can find it. And anyways, talking about this person who's always giving you a gift, right? Shows up in your email every day. He's got something really cool for you. And with the perfect customer segment, what Frank does is he walks you through this whole process. And I followed the process in the core influence training. And I had like 4 pages about this person. Matter of fact, a few weeks ago, I hired an outside agency to help me do some stuff to take my my advertisements to the next level. And the first thing they did was had me go through basically their version of the perfect customer. They wanted to know who it is that I would most benefit and work with. They asked questions like, what are they scared of? What keeps them up at night? What do they hate? What is their common enemy? What are they looking for? What do they like? Like, they went through all these things that led to me basically through the entire perfect customer deal. But so what I'm going to do is walk you through this whole perfect customer scenario that Frank explains in Core Influence. I'd like to take the credit for it, but that's not true. I learned that from that specific video. And so to save you the hour and 20 minutes of that video, I'll just walk you through it real quick here. It's like when you're thinking of the person that you like to work with, because when you get clear on what you want, the mind is clear on what you don't want, and the mind starts attracting what you want. So your perfect customer, you need to know, is it a man? Is it a woman? Right? Write this stuff down. If you're driving, don't write it down. Right? Replay it later when you get in the office. Is it a man? Is it a woman? Do they have kids? Are they married? What kind of job do they do? What kind of money do they make? What kind of car do they drive? What do they eat for breakfast this morning? What's their favorite restaurants? What kind of clothes do they wear? What are their favorite places to shop? Are they techie, geeky? Are they alpha, macho? Were they jocks? Did they play sports? Are they artists? Like, who is this person? And so what I did was I went through and I designed the person that helped me. And at the time, I'll just be real, it was mortgage brokers. So my mortgage broker was my old mortgage mentor, Mike. I basically described Mike, you know. He's got a kid, divorced, he's XYZ age. And I went through this like whole process. And I had 4 pages explaining everything about Mike, his fears, what he didn't want to happen, everything else. And guess what? I started having people in my pipeline show up. Guess what? Some of their names were Mike. Of course, Mike's a pretty common name, so it's a smart name to give. But people started showing up that fit that profile left and right. And I started getting my advertisements honed in and my marketing pieces honed in to where I repelled the people that didn't fit that profile. But I got clear on it, and I knew everything about it. I took the time to describe all the fears that he's facing, all the struggles that he's in, the fact that he knows technology is going to replace him, but he's not very tech savvy at all. The fact that, you know, he knows that he's got to change the ways and adapt the way the business is done here in the future with all the technology and everything else. He's just scared to take the leap. He's 40 years old. Like, I went through this whole process so that I knew. And guess what? I'm perfectly clear on the type of person I can help. And so what I highly suggest is that you take time today, is better sooner than later, right? To write down and design who it is that you want to work with. Think of the last 5 transactions that you've done that you just absolutely love the client. What were the commonalities of those people? What made them such an awesome transaction? What made it a pleasurable experience? Now take the last 5 transactions that sucked, that you did the deal but reluctantly. And so take those last 5 transactions and find out what it is that you didn't like about those. How was the prospect? How did the prospect react? What kind of questions did they ask? What kind of things did you not like about them? And now all of a sudden you've got the things that you want, the things that you don't want in front of you, and you start instilling those into your perfect customer. Here's the things that they do that's awesome, and here's the things that they don't do at all. And so that gives you a good template for outlining who that person is. And the next thing you know, once you have everything written down and you've identified that person, you need to attach a picture to them so that when you're sending emails, you're sending an email to Mike, your perfect customer. You're not sending an email to your list. When you write a post on Facebook, you're writing a post for Mike, your avatar. You're not writing a post for like everybody on Facebook. You see, a lot of people get mad on my Facebook posts and they get all bent out of shape and everything else. But I wasn't talking to them. I was talking to Mike, right? This wasn't for them. They just happened to jump in my conversation. I wrote it that way to attract a specific person. It never fails. The mics always show up. And they always have the opinion I figured they'd have, and I'm always trying to draw them out because those are the people I want to connect and do business with. But I'd never know that if I wouldn't have got clear with my perfect customer. And you think about, like, the more detailed you get with that perfect customer, what kind of books they read, what kind of podcasts they listen to, what kind of material they're reading. Then when you start advertising, it's going to be easy to reach them because you're going to know so much about them. I know exactly what to target on Facebook, exactly what to target on Google and everything else when it comes to finding my perfect customer because I know everything about them. Because I've taken the time to identify them. Oftentimes we think we know who we want to sell to, but we're not exactly clear. And even though we trick ourselves into thinking we're clear, we're not. So the mind's still not sure what it is that it wants to attract. And we operate from a scarcity mentality. We say, well, I don't want to lose a deal. I want to get all that I can get. I don't want to lose a deal. When, most of the time it's better if you just get rid of the people that you don't want to do business with. You'll find so many more people that you do.
Yeah. Ryan, can I add something or bring something
come on,
to the
man.
forefront that makes me laugh about that is that, especially in the automotive world, you always hear a lot of dealerships and salespeople complaining that their customers are coming in price-oriented, ready to grind them up. But when you look at any and every piece of that said dealership's marketing, it's all price-oriented. So, I mean, who the hell do they think is going to come through the door, right?
You're right. I see what you're saying. They're like, come in for a $299 a month Kia, you know what I mean? And then they're like pissed off when people come in there wanting a $299 a month Kia.
Or just in general, they're like doing best deals in town or a huge sale, like all of this stuff, and they bring in people that want a better deal, right? Because because that's the type of person that's
who they've attracted.
That's their avatar. Yeah, no doubt.
Meanwhile, you don't see Porsche saying that they're the cheapest Porsche dealership in town. I definitely didn't get the Maserati on the fact that it was like the most affordable Maserati dealership in the Metroplex. And there's 3, right? The fact is it was, hey, here's what we have. We know what you're looking for. We know you want this car because it makes you feel like you got a penis extension, right? Like that we know the type of alpha personality that buys these race cars. That's who they're advertising to. And price doesn't have anything to do with us. You know what I mean? It has to do with, pictures of women for a lot of guys that buy these. They're going through midlife crisis. Maybe I am too, right? They have pictures of attractive women on there. They have pictures of yachts and expensive watches and things like that go alongside them because they know who they're trying to attract. Even you rarely see Lexus get on TV. Let's just use practicality, right? You see Lexus get on TV. They don't advertise that they're the cheapest car in the business or the best deal in the area, right? They advertise luxury. Because they're trying to attract their perfect avatar, somebody who appreciates luxury, not price. If they're price conscious, they go to Toyota, right? It's that simple. So, all right, here's the deal. Quick recap. Design your perfect customer. Go listen to Frank Kern's Core Influence video. You can get it on YouTube. We're going to post it here in the notes with the show on the blog here. And listen, if you'll design your perfect customer, you'll know exactly who it is you want to do business with. More importantly, who it is you don't want to do business with. And you'll see how that just magically starts. Once you're clear on things, how it just magically starts to happen. Also, make sure you text HC Podcast to 44222 and you can get my book for free, right? You can get kick-ass take names, email addresses, and phone number version 3 coming out here in the next couple of days. So that's really cool. Lucky you. I had a professional editor make it like all badassery this time. So I'm excited about that. HC, as in Hardcore Closer, HC Podcast to 44222, and you can get my book for free. Also, make sure you get your profile at Clixo. That's an awesome site. I know those guys over there. They're pretty cool. Or that guy over there. He's pretty cool. CLYXO.com. You can check out my profile. Find me. Connect with me on any social media at Clixo.com/closer. And you know what? Last but not least, just make sure you share this, right? There's a sales for you. Were probably here because somebody shared it with you. So perpetuate that favor. Continue to approximate, or whatever the word is, the good karma on your end, and share this with another salesperson who you know could use it. And if this is your first time, go back and catch the rest of the episodes too. They're full of pure gold as well. Later.